Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Malicious Compliance. In today's episode, renewal license is more expensive than a new one? Fine, I'll uninstall my old software. I was called into work on my day off a week before I leave. Super short compliance. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Renewal license is more expensive than a new one? Fine, I'll uninstall my old software. I have a software license that I bought last year. The license is for 1 year. Well, a few days ago, I bought a new license, but I kept getting emails that my license was about to expire. I called customer service. Hi, I keep getting emails that my license is about to expire, and I just bought a license last week. CSO, I see, you bought a new license? That won't work, it has to be a renewal license. The renewal license costs $2,899. What? Why won't it work? The new license for a year just costs $1,099. CS, too bad, I'll contact you to our technicians. Tech, nope, can't do it. Me, so if I uninstall it I can use the license I just bought? Tech, I guess, but that takes a lot of work on my end to set up. Me, well, I don't want to pay extra for the same thing. Let me uninstall it. Tech, oh well, give me TeamViewer access. 2 hours later he had my new software and license installed because I have terrible 3 megabits per second internet. All they had to do on their end is just plug in the activation code on my old software to renew it, but no, renewals need a renewal license which costs more than twice as much. Nope, I'm not paying extra. I was called into work on my day off a week before I leave. So I work in the military. I was called into work by a text I got at 3 a.m. on a weekend to show up at 12 p.m. Generally speaking, unless previously specified with at least 24 hours prior notice, working on the weekends is not really a thing one has to worry about unless it's one of those "we're going to war" or someone came on base drunk/high and with criminal charges, full recall time now texts. Our weekends are protected like that. So I had just woken up and saw the text, "Be at work at 1200 to help do this task." I think, okay, well, I'm clearing this base in less than a week, so I have absolutely nothing in terms of gear to help out with heavy machinery we use for this task. I drive up to work in my civilian attire and am immediately questioned why I'm not in uniform. I explain I'm not supposed to work today, and that I basically have no gear for their task they want me to do. They, my immediate supervisor, say it's fine and I start to assist with the task. Cue malicious compliance. I do what's asked of me to the letter, and an officer, senior ranking soldier to most of the soldiers in a unit, asks me what I'm doing in civilian attire and why I have no gear. I address the situation and explain what I was told to do. I'm breaching several safety protocols by doing so without gear and proper uniform, so they begin to promptly flip out. They find out who asked me to do this and tell me to stop immediately and go home. I proceed to leave while I hear my supervisor get the reaming of a lifetime from this officer. Meanwhile, I'm walking away scot-free of any wrongdoing and continue to return to my barracks to enjoy my weekend. The aftermath of the situation is I am called by my supervisor and their supervisor to explain what happened, and so I do. Their supervisor chews out my supervisor and I'm released with an apology. This almost never happens in the military, and am left alone for the rest of my weekend, only being cleared to work if it's directly relating to my transfer. This takes immediate priority over any local work they need done, as everyone in my chain of command would be royally screwed over if I miss my transfer period or report date due to their incompetence. To anyone wondering, yes, I get paid a salary, so I will work 7 days a week if needed. But the rules and regulations regarding labor and non-emergency unscheduled work saved me from any wrongdoing here. I love my job and do it happily, but I also enjoy the little time I get off each week as well. To be called in for a routine task that I absolutely didn't need to be there for was over the top, unnecessary, and against Army rules when it comes to safety compliance and regulations, as I didn't have the necessary equipment to complete it safely. I do know what I'm doing, however, and can complete said task with nothing, but that's not something that the higher-ups want to risk. Super short compliance. This is kind of a stupid one, but it made everyone involved smile, so I'll share it. In my classroom, we have reading right after recess. First I read a chapter of a book to calm the class down, and then they read from their assigned books. At the moment we're reading the BFG. Before anyone calls me out on the timing, I was already 3 chapters in when Queen Elizabeth II died and had no way of knowing when I started that she didn't have long left. We're just getting to the exciting part where the main characters are planning how to stop the giants from eating any more children. When I finished my chapter for the day, one of my students begged me to keep going. I told him no and that it was time to move on. He started pleading, "Please? Just one more word." I sighed and opened my book and read it. Then I closed the book saying, "Time for you to read." The students all giggled, including the one who had asked me to read more. The main teacher was smiling too. Overall good vibes. The student relented and got out his book and did a fine job reading that day. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.